While watching this group's cooking video, some of the things that I observed that went right was they successfully made good enchiladas with seasoned chicken, and they made it with only 2 people cooking that day. Even though it might have taken a little bit slower and longer than the other groups because there was only 2 people that day, they still were efficient and spread the work evenly. So for example, if there was someone cooking, then the other one would be washing dishes. Or if someone was chopping vegetables, the other one would be setting the table. So they were sharing an equal amount of work. I noticed that they followed some safety and sanitation procedures, like putting their hair up if they had long hair. They both wore t-shirts and washed their hands before cooking, and if they touched their face or coughed or touched their phone. I noticed that they used hot pads on the table when they put down a pan that was from the stove, which was a good safety and sanitation. I also noticed that they measured everything accurately if needed. So they used liquid measuring cups for liquid and dry measuring cups for dry ingredients. I noticed a safety and sanitation procedure that went kind of wrong was they left the handle of the pot going off the stove a little bit, so that could potentially cause someone walking in and bumping into that stove and all the food falling. I also noticed that they didn't use the bear claw method when they were cutting vegetables, like the onions and the tomatoes. So I just noticed that. Some 3 tips and advice to improve cooking overall is trying to wash the dishes as you go along so you don't have a big pile of dishes at the end, which I did notice in the video they did. They were like consistently washing the dishes if the other one was cooking, so they didn't have a big pile of dishes at the end. I noticed they did not leave any cabinets open, which is good because you always want to close cabinets so no one bumps into it and hurts themselves or drops food, and it's just good to close cabinets. It's always good to generally have one person be paying attention to the food on the stove and stirring it and paying attention to make sure it doesn't burn. And that was really good because in the video I noticed that one person was consistently checking up on the food on the stove, and the other one was, chopping vegetables while they did that. So that goes back to also sharing the work evenly. So